We welcome you to Cave Arena for the second of this Piedmont quarterfinal doubleheader against the visiting Berea College Mountaineers. My name's Chloe Spradlin. With me, Eric Edmondson, Adam Cook on camera, all a part of Danielle Percival's staff here in Athletic Communications. Unfortunately, we saw a heartbreaker in the first matchup with the women versus Belhaven University, hoping not to rewrite history there, because as the Piedmont Lions hosting their first playoff game since 2018.
You're absolutely correct, Chloe. And that same scenario, we beat Covenant on the 17th. This is the same date back in 2018, February 20th. But we had beat Covenant on the 17th and hosted them again, but lost here on the 20th. So as lineups are announced, we'll go ahead and give you the starting five for your squad, starting off with the visiting Berea Mountaineers. Number 5, Bryce Riley kicks it off at the forward position, along with number 23, Demetrius Phillips, also at the forward. 3 guards, starting with number 2, Kavion Hudson, number 14, Jarrell Montgomery, and number 44, all first team, all conference, Trey Minter.
Trey Minter has been lethal, someone to watch out for. As for Piedmont, it is the starting 5 that we've known to love here. Number 1, Joe Hellenbrook. Number 4, the red-hot Noah Reardon. Number 5, all-conference first-team member Ryan Jolly. Number 30, the star that's really jumped out of his shell this year, Fisher Darden. And rounding out the starting 5, number 31, the senior Devin Dean. Had senior day a couple days ago against this exact same opponent, and a lot going on today here inside Cave Arena. It's been busy, starting to see a lot of players from different sports starting to fill in, but it's going to be a huge matchup here today.
And just got word from our Director of Athletic Communications, Danielle Percival. Piedmont has not won a home conference game, home playoff game, since they were in the Great South Athletic Athletic Conference in 2008. So, Chloe, I'd say they're due.
Yeah, it's an opportunity to make some history today. Haven't been inside this arena for a playoff game in over 5 years. It'll be Hellenbrook versus Phillips to start us off with the tip-off. Probably the biggest game in most of these players' lives. And it will be Minter to start off for the Mountaineers. Minter taking his time over to Phillips. Feeds it outside to number 2, drives inside the paint, goes up for it, and it is swatted away by Ryan Jolly. Usually a player making headlines offensively, but Mays does some great defensive work there on Kavion Hudson. Minter to inbound now. Over to Riley. Riley goes up for it and makes 2. Reardon has been hot as ever in his senior season. Over to Jolly now, being defended by Hudson. Cave Crazies really packed up now. So we're seeing Jolly still with the ball. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Instead goes for 3 and swirls its way in. Minter now. Over to Montgomery. Riley, and is taken by Fisher Darden. On the fast break here, but Hellenbrook decides to slow it down. 3-point shot from Darden, better believe it. Quickly, the Lions up by 4. Hudson are in and around the arc, and it's Minter now with the ball, being double-teamed. Riley, cross-court ball to Hudson, and Minter now. Back to Hudson. Looking like he wants to go for 3, but doesn't get the opportunity. Now another player gets his chances. Over to Riley, goes for 3, 2 seconds on the shot clock, and that drains all the way in. It's been a 3-point masterclass so far. Jolly now, 1-point game. This game was split contest between both sides in 2 games in the season. It will be kickball. So we'll send Reardon to the baseline. Split the contest, both games this season. Berea won it the first time, and Lions won it the second just a couple days ago. Now Montgomery. Taking his time, quickly dribbling around. Over to Minter, who is the out-and-out playmaker here on this side. Riley, 15 seconds on the shot clock. Inside to Montgomery. Now to Hudson, goes for three. Hits off the rim and is tipped out of bounds by Phillips. It's been a good start for the Lions so far, Eric.
Absolutely, and this is 6 points on the board right now. They're going to want, of course, more. And this is exactly the kind of start you want from the top offense in the league.
Piedmont are ranked number 1 offensively, as you just said, Eric, ranked number 4 defensively. As for the Mountaineers, it's the number 6 ranked offense versus and the number 5 ranked defense. See if this offense can get going with another Fisher dart and 3. Better believe it. Minter now over to Hudson. Sits down Hellenbrook, but don't think he meant to do that. It's Phillips to Hudson. Minter wanted the ball, instead Hudson goes for 3, a long 3 that is, and it's tipped up out of bounds. It'll be reared and inbound. The shot just ricochets off one of the cables holding up the basket. A little over 17 minutes to play. Do 20-minute halves for the men's game here in NCAA. Just swatted away by Minter, but the pass gets over to Dean inside. Fouled in the process for the and one.
Devin Dean so strong in there. That is the exact play you always want for number 3-1. That is the play you run every single time, and that's just perfectly ideal.
What Dean may lack in height, he certainly has in all sorts of strengths. A wonderful post, as we'll see him go for 2. That one shot opportunity he has just goes awry. Lions still lead by 6. It's Montgomery over to Hudson, has to jump for it. Back to Montgomery. Inside for Riley. Now Minter, will he go for 3? Ops to Phillips. Riley. Minter for 3. Bounces out. Rebounded by Ryan Jolly. Noah Reardon on the fast break now. He goes up for it and kisses the glass for 2. Timeout called by Berea. A hot start for the Lions, and the Cave Crazies are feeling it tonight.
Yeah, Lions coming out absolutely swinging. This is exactly what you needed. Not just, of course, you expect this from the team, but this is what you needed for the crowd. The crowd just had to endure a heartbreaking, heart-stabbing loss against Belhaven, but now you have the crowd fired up. You're in this game fully. You have nearly every single major sport here at Piedmont being represented, from lacrosse, softball, baseball is here, men's tennis is here. The entire crowd's out. The entire school is here, and they want to see the first home playoff win since 2008.
Over nearly 2 decades. Had to get my math right there. If you listen to the women's broadcast, we established that I'm not a STEM major. So we'll see the ball inbounded with some full court press from the Lions being deployed. So it's Minter now, over to Riley on the near side, back to Minter, inside to Montgomery.
I love this idea by the Lions to do this press, because right now you've put yourself in a position where if they do get on a fast break, if they do get home a couple points, it's not going to sting you. You've built a lead, but the trade-off is if you can steal that ball immediately back, you get guaranteed points.
See if those points can be guaranteed. In this possession here, it'll be Jolly to take it all the way. It looks like it almost got stripped away, but it's fouled in the process. That sends Jolly to the line, he's top 5 in every single offensive category in the Collegiate Conference of the South. Ryan Jolly, in his 5th year, a grad student here at Piedmont, has been honestly one of the best players in program history, as we see a timeout called by Coach Greg Neely.
Good job by Ryan there. Jolly usually is very, very capable with the ball. He scarcely is in a position where he loses it. Just lost it there a little bit. Was able to gather it back up, get himself in a position to where he was going to get fouled.
One thing to note about this matchup, it's almost like repeating history. The Lions last season, Piedmont went to Bellhaven went to Berea in the quarterfinals of last season and won it in double overtime. The score of that game was 86-80, a semi-convincing victory, but had to earn it the hard way.
Are you in store for another double overtime is what you're saying, Chloe?
I would like to pass on that question. At some point, Eric and I will have to eat dinner. Here in Habersham County, lots of restaurants like to close early, and we're already behind schedule, so looks like it may be a McDonald's dinner for us.
McDonald's, late night, one of the two.
Good stuff from the Lions so far as we're just receiving the stats. It's only points scored for Berea have been by Bryce Riley. All 7 by him, none from beyond the arc, one from beyond the arc. As for the Lions, it's all split up. Devin Dean with 2, Fisher Darden with 6, Ryan Jolly with 3 points, Noah Reardon with none. Joe Hellenbrook, no points to his name, but expect him not to be too heavy in that category, instead heavier in the rebounding.
Yeah, we talked about in the open that Trey Minter is, of course, he's first team all conference for Berea. He is such a good player. He's a dynamic player for Berea. But also something that I don't want people to sleep on is Bryce Riley. When they last played Berea on the last day of the season, Bryce Riley had one heck of a second half and nearly carried his team on his back. But the offensive surge from the Lions, just too much. But as you said, 7 points. That's the only person who has scored for Berea, so watch out for him.
This is Phillips now with the ball. 20 seconds left to go on the shot clock. It is Bryce Riley for 3 and drains it. 10 points for Berea, 10 points for Riley.
5-point lead now.
It's Jolly now making his way across. Back to Jolly after a 1-2 with Reardon for a long 3 and says, you got 3s, I got 3s.
That was the most picturesque shot I've seen from Jolly in a while, and he's had a bunch of them, but that one just tops the list.
Lions now 3 for 4 outside the arc. It's Bryce Riley now into Hudson. Montgomery tries to get his way around Noah Reardon, who's been absolutely stellar. Don't expect Montgomery to go for that 3 there. Less than 10 on the shot clock. Hudson now over to Montgomery for 3. It is drained once more. 3 for 6 are the Mountaineers from beyond the arc. It's been a 3-point party, Eric.
Berea has showed that last half of the game a couple days ago that they are starting to heat up a little bit. Their shooting hands are getting warm, but the Lions have been warm all year.
Drained once more. Seen a lot of cinnamon swirls go down the net's been a very, very wonderful offensive masterclass, especially from the Lions, but don't sleep on the Mountaineers.
The Lions are 5 from first 6 from beyond the arc.
It's absolutely wonderful stuff to see. Maybe another 3 here, and it's down once more.
This is going to be a fun game.
Oh, yeah. We saw what was more so a defensive statement in our first game of this doubleheader. Here, 2 offensive master classes. Now a master class in his own right. Beautiful feed with a wonderful hook shot behind the back from Joe Hellenbrook. I just fell to my knees. Minter now.
Devin Dean saying, hey, that's my move.
Minter over to Phillips inside for Riley. Still beyond the arc, 15 seconds on the shot clock. Riley with the ball, makes Dean hesitate one moment, but Dean standing his ground. It's Montgomery trying for something. Hudson goes up for 3 instead, opts to go inside the paint for a hook shot. Beautiful for 2.
And this is definitely to be expected between these two. Piedmont ranked 4th in defense. Berea right there with him at 5.
Reardon now goes for 3, and it's another 3. It's a 3-point party inside Cave Arena. Minter yet to cross the timeline, now slowly makes his way over. It's up and blocked by Hellenbrook. There's some defense. Now Fisher Darden, one of the best 3-point shooters in the league, instead drives inside the paint for a beautiful floater. It's going to be a timeout. called. Media timeout, and the Lions inside this arena are loving it.
Oh my goodness. You couldn't picture a better start for the Lions right now.
I mean, less than 8 minutes played, 28 points. It's not really much to complain about there.
No, I'm not sure what the pregame speech was in the locker room. I don't know what they ate for breakfast, but they need to keep on doing it because the way they're playing, the pace they're playing right now, they're going to move on deep into this conference.
Guys, in case you're wondering, yes, Eric did in fact knock on a lot of wood there. Lions trying to get their first home playoff win since 2008. We weren't even in the Collegiate Conference of the South. Heck, we weren't even in the USA South, which is a new conference that we're in now.
Ryan Jolly just went back to where the medical team keeps their things. It looked like he was walking with a little bit of a limp there, so I assume maybe he might get in an ankle tape situation.
It'll be Griffin Neville who subs in for Ryan Jolly. That'll be something that we'll keep note of. Ryan Jolly, such an instrumental member of this Lions team. Of course, we can talk all day about his offensive accolades, but has definitely shown up defensively as well.
Caleb Lesh in for Ryan.
So now it's Caleb Riley on the far side, trying to find his way inside. It'll be Andrew Jones, a substitute in for Berea now. Over into number 4, who's fouled in the process, gets the and one. That's Jaden Gist. And it will be Devin Dean with his team's first foul.
And you need to look out for Jones here. Andrew Jones was a really good piece of the second half for Berea last time out versus the Lions. He was very focal and just moving the ball around the court.
Also seeing Joe Hellenbrook for the Lions step out. Those couple subs for Berea. It is Phillips and Hudson out, Jones and Gist in. Devin Dean goes for a long 2, and it hits the rim and is bounced out of play. So it's just now to inbound to Minter. Expect a lot of minutes for Minter. Just one of those guys who will always be in. Is basically the Ryan Jolly of Berea's offense for comparison. Now, far side Jones with a cross-court ball, but a little too much gravy. We'll see another
media timeout here.
Media timeout, so I mean, the Lions, not much to change from the timeout we had quite literally 45 seconds ago, but still good.
Well, the Lions may be slowing down a little bit here. They came out of that huddle just maybe looking for a different game plan in that situation. Jolly's still back there being tended to by the medical staff, and hopefully all things are well because this Lions team, while it can't operate at the same exact level that has all year without Ryan Jolly at the helm.
Interesting to see who's going to step up in the absence of Jolly. So far, your stats. Ryan Jolly leads the Lions with points in double digits already with 11.
He hit 3 threes.
He has, and as for the rest of the squad, Joe Hellenbrook with 2, Fisher Darden with 6, Devin Dean with 4 points, Noah Reardon with 5. For Berea, it is Bryce Riley with 10, Montgomery with 6, and Kavion Hudson with 2. Just came into the game, has 2, but no other points for no other players. Lions lead by 8 as we're exiting this timeout.
See Noah Reardon having a good discussion there with assistant coach J.C. Cavan. Reardon, senior here, and talking with him multiple times throughout the season. One thing he wanted to improve on coming in is he wanted to be a leader, and now he gets the ball to bring it for this possession. So I'd say he's really grown into that leader role so far. And now Ryan Jolly is limping back to the locker room.
That is something that we will absolutely keep you updated on if he remains out. We'll try and get some more news around halftime. Caleb Lesh has stepped in for the Lions. The lead by 10 now. It's Jones over to Minter. Still outside the arc. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Jones won't go for 3. Inside, cuts inside. Cross court pass to Montgomery for 3. Swishes it. Reardon now. playing the role of playmaker in place of an injured Ryan Jolly. 20 seconds left on the shot clock as Reardon takes his time. Between the legs a couple times over to Fisher Darden, but it's tipped away by Andrew Jones. Fast break now for Minter. Goes up for it, and will he get the dunk? No, I got my hopes up. Jaden just for two, however. And it will be a technical foul on Ryan Jolly. It must have been something he said.
I think they're going to put it on Reardon. Reardon is going to have to be stepped out here, and what happened was that Reardon came down to grab that ball, and the Berea player would not get out of his way, so they kind of bumped together momentarily. And now Coach Neely and the referees looking to see a replay here. And now with Jolly back in the locker room, or excuse me, he's out in the hallway. He's walking around making sure he's okay. But now Reardon possibly being out, the Lions have to find a way to get fire back underneath them, because it has been just wind coming out of sails here.
I'd be stunned if Reardon said something outside of the ordinary. Most people know him as the nicest guy on campus. Reardon is... It's a double tech. So a tech on both players. Reardon does stay in the game.
It's on Gist and Reardon for clarification.
Wow, so they must have been going back and forth. I don't know what you could have said to make Noah Reardon as angry as he was.
And this is what I was saying. It didn't look like there was anything in general. It seemed like both of them just kind of bumped into each other. They were chest to chest just trying to make sure they got that ball. Maybe there's a little bit of tension between that because it's an athletic event. This is competition. But it's nothing to call a technical foul for 10 minutes left in the first quarter, or first half.
Hellenbrook for three. Don't see that often, but is rebounded by Gist, who just received, the technical. Now Riley over to Minter. Cutting inside, goes up for it, and attempted rebound by Fisher Darden, but instead is shoved in the process. No call, goes out of bounds for Berea ball.
Excellent job by Hellenbrook to go out there. He got a tip on it just to steer it out of the path of the bucket.
Bryce Riley, the rough bounce pass goes right in between the legs of Montgomery, who was unable to get it out. Now Montgomery didn't go for three. Now to Minter. Cuts inside. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Goes for a pass inside for Bryce Riley for two. Lions lead suddenly shrinks to three. Noah Reardon now received a technical. Over to Caleb Lesh. It's Hellenbrook pivoting around, trying to make something happen. For three. And it hits the backboard for Noah Reardon. Gist to Montgomery. These threes have been lethal. We'll see another, and it goes out. Fisher Darden to recover. Under 10 minutes to play in the first half. Darden inside to Lesh now. Crosses the court. A weird bounce. Stops his momentum. Now Reardon with the ball. 15 seconds left to play.
And Jolly,
as we see, Ryan Jolly is back in the game. He's looking to get subbed in. Don't know what magic assistant athletic trainer Gabby Lauder did, but Ryan Jolly back in the game is something the Lions desperately needed, now only up by three.
If you see Devin Dean down on the bench sideline walking around limping, he's nursing a hamstring, it looks like. He's got the Theragun on the back of it. So I don't think that's anything to worry about. It seems like he was just cramping up a little bit.
Yeah, at this point of the season, obviously the team's been working hard. Coach Greg Neely's got quite the game plan in place against the Mountaineers, so won't be surprised to see a couple guys cramping up some. 15 seconds on the shot clock. It's Minter with the ball, goes up around the line, instead feeds it inside. It's fast movement basketball inside, under 10 to go, and it's rebounded, being tipped up by multiple players. They'll call that Berea ball. A lot of quick basketball there. No bounce passes, straight chest to chest.
Zach Exley is in the game for the Lions, number 21.
Hudson to Minter. 15 seconds on the clock. Tipped around multiple times. Minter with the ball once more. 10 seconds on the shot clock now. Minter still with it. Phillips won't go for three. Feeds it to Riley for three. Bounces out and rebounded by the newly reintroduced Ryan Jolly. Ryan Jolly missed a lot while he was out for a short time. Joe Hellenbrook now with the ball. That would be another 3. And misses 2 in a row is Jolly.
Is Jolly's left ankle. And Ryan is having to come out here. It looks like, yeah, he's going to tag in for Reardon. It's Jolly's left ankle that's really bothering him. And it looks like he even got a new pair of shoes from the locker room, and Jolly's shaking his head. He said he can't.
Yeah, Jolly's out of here. He's done going behind the bleachers with athletic trainer Gabby Lauder. That'll be something we have to keep updated with you all. Meanwhile, the Lions have to find a way without him. Still only lead by 3. Lions scoreless in the last 3 minutes. Both teams scoreless in the last 4 minutes.
And if you're the Lions here, if I'm Coach Greg Neely, I might need to take a timeout here pretty soon, because if Ryan Jolly is willingly coming off the court shaking his head, that of course does not bode well, but he might not be in this game for a long time. So call a timeout here, let the guys know the situation, and light a fire under him.
May have to change your game plan. The 2-point floater shot doesn't come off. Now it's Griffin Neville with the ball. He's going a little bit too fast and still manages to get the ball, and the Lions starting to lose control. It'll be Hudson with the ball. Now Berea losing control. What was once an offensive masterclass has become a little bit of a mess. Lesh for 3. Bounces off the rim. Recovered by Gist. Going all the way. It will be Kavion Hunter who goes up for it. Back to Gist. Down under the paint for 2. Mountaineers within 1. Devin Dean looking like he's ready to step into the game. Same with Fisher Darden. Good decision by Coach Neely as the Lions looking low on the point side. Hellenbrook hasn't stepped out of the game yet, or had briefly had. Griffin Neville, 10 seconds left on the shot clock. At the top of the key, driving into the paint, goes up for it, kisses the glass, twirls in and out. And now the Lions still trying to make something happen with the shot clock restart. It's Reardon slowing the game down just a little bit to gain a little bit of composure. 5 seconds left on the clock now. Lesh looking to go for it, instead feeds it to Neville. Neville for 3. Off the rim, and it's officially a shot clock violation. Just inside to Moss, who goes all the way instead. It will be Just slowing the game down. Both teams were just starting to lose a little bit of control, Eric.
Yeah, it seems like the steam has stopped pumping here for both squads, as Berea is still trying to manufacture something rather than shoot the 3 ball. And like I said, Lions got to find some way to make a big play, and a lot of that I think is going to go through Reardon and Hellenbrook right now.
2 leaders on the team. Let's see who can step up in the absence of Jolly. As Caleb Lesh goes for 3, bounces off the rim and rebounded by Moss. Takes it quickly to the other side. Mackey up and fouled in the process. Or pardon me, yes, that is Mackey, who was recently subbed into the game. It'll be a timeout called. It'll be a media timeout called by the officials. Minter and Riley stepping back in as well.
That foul on Zach Exley, the sophomore. Lions having 2 sophomores on the court, and Lesh and Exley. Neville also seasoned up there with Hellenbrook and Reardon. It does look like Fisher, Darden, and Devin Dean are going to come back into this game. But right now, it does feel like there has been a devastating blow done to the Lions. Of course, Jolly is such a focal point all conference. He's now sitting in the stands. He's not sitting on the bench. He's removing himself right now because this has to be torture. Jolly trying his best to get healthy and rest at that ankle. But watching the team right now perform without him in a game that he knows he can perform well in, but he tried everything he could. Just the best he can do right now for the team is try to get healthy.
We do see ice on that left ankle, and when you're icing it, typically means
need Ryan Jolly, and the season's on the line. Ryan Jolly is going to try, even if Greg Neely says no. Ryan Jolly is at least going to make his voice heard and want to be on the court in that situation.
Of course, the athletic trainers are probably working with Coach Greg Neely as well as assistant coach J.C. Calvin, just trying to decide, hey, what's best for the team right now, balancing the line of what's best for the team and what's best for Jolly. Of course, don't want to see him injure himself further. We'll see Mackey go to the line for the and one to tie the ball game. And it hits off. Thought it was an and one, but memory does not serve me correct.
He didn't make the basket.
Mackey with the second attempt. Swishes it down for the tie. Lesh to Reardon. And it will be Jesse Harbin to step in. The senior hasn't gotten too many minutes just yet. Started last game on senior day as Berea back in business, probably feeding off the blood in the water with Jolly out. Reardon up for it, fouled in the process, gets the and one.
This is exactly what the Lions need right now. A huge play to shift the momentum back, get some life back in this arena.
Harbin, the senior from Flowery Branch, got the start last night, or a couple nights ago on senior day against Berea, but don't see him getting too many minutes usually.
Jesse Harbin does come in here.
Big minutes for Harbin. Needs to make a big impact. Reardon for the shot. Goes in. Lions lead by 3.
Just as good as one beyond the arc. 4 fouls for Berea.
Something to keep note of with just over 5 minutes left to go in the game. It's Phillips up for 2 after a great pass from Mentor. We'd like to see some of the Lions drawing good fouls here. It'll be Darden with the ball, making his way around. Good movement from the Lions. It's Oshley in the game now. With Dean with the ball, 10 seconds on the shot clock, uses his strength to get around Phillips, flips it up, and finds his way in. Mentor with the ball. The game that was once looking to be a bit of a blowout. Now it's become extremely competitive. Mentor now driving inside the paint, floats it up. Rebounded by the Lions, but is stolen away from Montgomery. Mentor going for the second opportunity. Finds its way in after a couple of bounces.
That was a beautiful step there by Mentor.
Noah Reardon having to take on a different role here. Probably much more leadership than he's expected. For 3. And he's taking that leadership well. Lions lead by 4. Mentor trying to direct traffic, but doing it slowly. Montgomery speeding it up over to Mentor with another jumper. And it's just tipped out of bounds by a Berea player. Lions ball, but not before a timeout. We're going to the under 4 media timeout. Joe Hellenbrook looks like he's going to sub in for Exley.
Man, the Lions, when they needed him, Noah Reardon has begun to step up. Got that three-point play earlier with the and one, launched a 3 there, and he is taking a different approach. Like you said, Chloe, he's taking on a completely different role. He's having to slow it down. He's having to fill the role that Ryan Jolly left on the court, and this is exactly what Noah Reardon wanted to do coming into his final season, his senior season, is to be more of a leader. On the court, off the court, the guys rally around Noah, and right now he is taking that in so much stride.
Have to see how well he does with it. It's doing well. Tied with Jolly for 11 points now. Will obviously surpass him, knowing what we know now. Bryce Riley on the other side, leading with 12 points. Not a lot of fouls for a single player, just one for many. We'll let the rest of this timeout unfold. Stay with us. You're listening to Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. Welcome back to Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. Eric has just found some daunting news.
Ryan Jolly has been ruled out of this game, twisted ankle, as he has been icing it. He has been sitting out, but now officially he's done.
Not even halfway into the first half, Jolly is done. Such a blow, but the Lions are able to continue without him. Fisher Darden, one of the players who will step up in his place with the ball once more. Spins his way over to Hellenbrook, who is fouled in the process. Looks like just a bit of a push that'll find Hellenbrook to the line, putting the Lions in the bonus.
That was a really lucky job by Hellenbrook, as he was just near the baseline.
Jesse Harbin steps out, Devin Dean stepping in. Dean with the ball, 20 seconds on the shot clock, tries to muscle his way up. Amazing, he was able to keep his foot pivoted on the ground. For three was Reardon. Instead, rebounds his own shot. And the second three goes out. Hellenbrook tried to keep that one in, but just goes over to a Berea player. Quick basketball for Montgomery. Makes Hellenbrook miss for three, but doesn't make the shot. The ball just tips off of Darden. Darden pointing at his face, saying he should have been fouled, and Coach Greg Neely, who's not always the most animated of coaches, usually keeps a level head, has a red face right now.
Yeah, Reardon went down and immediately went to that left eye. Sorry, Darden.
Minter for two. Swishes it in. Lions lead by 2. Neville back to Reardon. Reardon calling plays. Something that we don't see too often here. It'll be Dean pivoting around. Reardon trying to go up. Floats it with a beauty. Minter speedily trying to make his way down, but instead opts to slow it down. Montgomery. Hudson back to Montgomery outside the arc. Been prolific three-point shooters, but haven't seen one in a while. Hudson inside to Gist, getting more minutes after not getting the start. Turns around with it over to Hudson for three. Bounces, recovered by Berea. Bryce Riley goes up for it for two. Nothing there. Strong take back from Gist over now to the far side. Gist with it once more. Around 10 seconds left on the shot clock. So Montgomery's trying to find something. Hudson strongly gets it up with the reverse hook shot. And the ball is tipped out of bounds, partially by Neville, partially by Dean.
Berea, really good job there to get their second chances off that one. Lions, they got to get that rebound there. That's third, fourth, fifth chances that they have given to Berea.
Was just going to say that the offensive rebounds against the Lions are starting to kill them. So it's Darden now opting to take it over. Only a sophomore receiving instructions on what play. Goes for three and swishes it in.
This is a Lions team built on offense. You have your main offensive players in the game right now. This is Coach Greg Neely's strategy. Build your lead big enough so you can rest some guys, keep the rotation going and going strong.
We'll need to keep that rotation in. In case you missed it, Ryan Jolly, the star player for the Lions offense, is officially out with a twisted ankle. 1 minute left to play in the first half. Your Lions lead by 5. It's Noah Reardon with the ball going between the legs. We'll have maybe 1 or 2 possessions before the end of the half. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Feeds its way over to Darden. Goes up for the shot, fouled in the process with the and one. Sends Darden to the line, and the Cave Crazies are loving it. Needed something there, as you could feel a little bit of the silence with the shock of Ryan Jolly stepping out in the game. 40.4 seconds left on the clock.
Reardon and the referee having a discussion there. The referee holding up the hand saying, no more.
Doesn't get the and one there. So now it's Minter with 1 possession, and there'll be some time left for the Lions on the other side. Minter taking his time, now speeding it up. Back to Minter for 3. Fouled. And it's it's Noah Reardon with the foul, sends Minter to the line for 3. First of 3 shots for Minter. Goes up for it and goes in. Minter not showing too much on the score sheet. Only 5 points, but assist-wise, leading all players with 4. Shot is up and good. Lions lead by 4. Last possession for the Lions. Reardon taking his time. Now drives over into the paint, sees open space, goes for it into Darden, up for 2 and 1!
Back-to-back and 1 attempts for Fisher Darden. The team is feeling great on the floor right now, and that's exactly what you want. You need these good vibes. You need to keep scoring. You need to always feel like you're in control of this game. Even if the lead has slowly shrunk down, the Lions feel that they are right now way ahead. They have the biggest lead of all time. There's no need in looking backwards.
Looks like Exley's trying to enter his way into the game, and he subs out Noah Reardon to give him perhaps an extended halftime rest.
Yeah, Noah has done his job and then some.
Jones also stepping in for Berea. Exley going to receive some instructions. A lot of commotion on the court, but now it'll be Darden to go for the and 1 opportunity. Swishes this one, missed the last one, but makes do here. 10 seconds left on the clock. Minter going all the way down. Inside for Mackey. Andrew Jones for 3. Rebounded by Montgomery, up for 2. And a long shot. Doesn't get off. I don't even think he got it off in time, but a big lead. Lions lead by 7 in their first home playoff game since 2018, trying to get their first home playoff win since 2008.
Minter and the referee just had some serious words, and I wouldn't be surprised if Minter might get something coming out of halftime. And now the head referee having a talk with the head coach. He is not happy with whatever Minter said. He is not pleased.
Head coach Austin Newton entering his 2nd season with Berea, having to stand tall for his player here. Still seeing some words, and Ryan Jolly is having to be helped off the court as Hopping with help. So that's probably the story of the first half. Ryan Jolly, the second half as well.
Welcome back inside Cave Arena. Eric Evanson alongside Chloe Spradlin, ready to get half number 2 underway. The Lions lead 48-41. And Chloe, we got some updates for you.
We do. First of all, the update on Ryan Jolly. He, like we said earlier, is officially out, but he came out of the locker room in crutches. So that's something just to keep an eye on for, hopefully, knock on some wood, the rest of the conference tournament. As for the Lions that are still on the court, it's been a really, really good game for Fisher Darden. 18 points. He is 3 from 4 from beyond the arc, showing why he has the highest three-point percentage with a stellar, I'm saying this, everyone, and I need you to listen to me because I'm not lying, 47% from outside the arc. That is the number 1 by a long shot in the Collegiate Conference of the South, maybe proving to the conference saying, hey, I should have been in that first team all conference.
The Lions are on a 6-game heater. They are looking for win number 7. They got hot at the exact right time. They have not lost a game in February to this point. Nope, that's right. Have not lost a game in February. They went on that really bad stretch in January where they lost 6 in a row. Now they lost 6 in a row. Now they've won 6 in a row.
The winner of this game will go on to play the winner of Bellhaven and Covenant. That game will be played this Friday at Maryville College, who is the number 1 seed.
Lions getting ready for action. They're going to inbound it here. They're going to hand off to Darden, who flips it over to Reardon. We're underway here in the second half. Noah dribbling at the crest, flips it over to Devin. Noah now moving his way to the corner. Moving quickly, Dean through the paint, goes over the shoulder, hits the bottom bumper of the glass, and it's going to be rebounded by Riley for Berea, who tries to take it himself. And unfortunately, if you're a Mountaineers fan, can't put it through. Rebounded by Hellenbrook, who we said in our break has to get more active. He only has 1 rebound for the Lions. Reardon flips it over to Joe, who's thinking 3, but can't get it through. Good job by Griffin Neville to get a palm on that one to give Devin Deed a chance to rebound, but no dice. Foul is drawn there by number 4, Jaden Gist. We also mentioned before we went to the break that Trey Minter was in a heated argument, or rather a one-sided heated argument with the referee. The referee was very, very not pleased with whatever Martin did. So I'd assume any transgression that he does in this half is going to net him a tech.
Would be the 3rd tech we've seen in the game so far. 1 to Gist, 1 to Reardon, and a double tech early in the first half.
Darden steals it away, looking to sweep it away to the basket. Fisher faces a foul, and it's going to be a travel call on Fisher.
Some of the referees in the stands didn't like that one. Was a close one there, but fortunately we're not in stripes.
So it will be an inbound here. Caleb Lesh getting ready to come in. Montgomery will be set to inbound. Reardon comes out. Lesh is in now. Montgomery is on the sportsmanship team for Berea as he gets it to Minter. Trey Minter crosses half court. Now pounces his way through the paint. Goes for a, I guess you could call that a pass, trying to find Andrew Jones.
Perhaps going for the alley-oop there, but Jones and Minter just nowhere near the same page. I don't even think they were reading the same book.
One was in the index of the encyclopedia. The other was reading To Kill a Mockingbird.
I was just thinking To Kill a Mockingbird. I was hoping you'd say that.
Griffin Neville crosses half court, facing a lot of opposition, flips over to Fisher, who thought 3, now goes to the paint, puts it up, but it's tipped, and it's going to go right into the hands of Hudson. Hudson flips it to Minter, and that should be a call against Lesh. Will be, as he stood too far in the way of Minter. And at 48-41. First foul for Lesh. The shot rings in and rings out.
Lions need to get something inside the hole. I've entered the second half with nothing on the board so far, and I hate to say it, hate to be Mr. Obvious, but if you don't score, then you're not going to win the game.
Not typically, no. Fisher gets it from the left side. Didn't hear what the head referee called, but he's going to be going to the replay table.
He told both players to go to the benches. Interesting to see what they're discussing here.
There was no call being put for it. It was just whistle and just stoppage in play. They're trying to figure out what's on the clock. Referee just looked to it. Both teams in a huddle. Still deciphering what's going on the shot clock. But Lions really trying to find the bottom of the bucket, as we've talked about multiple times. And they got the right five on the court to do it. Of course, Reardon taking a couple minutes of a break here. He needs it, especially with the role that he's being taken right now as the lead guard. Still deciphering what this clock situation is going to be. There seems to be a consensus. So we'll go from, I believe, 8:19 to 8:22. Both teams storm back the courts. Caleb Lesh set the inbound for the Lions. Lesh trying to find somebody. Getting open is Joe, but he's going to hand it off to Devin Dean. Dean tried to flip it to Lesh immediately, but now Devin's going to score his way to the paint, and no call there. Joe leaping up, trying to get the rebound, can't contain it as Riley sweeps it away over to Mentor. Mentor over to Hudson. Hudson in the paint, throws it up, unable to put it through the net, recovered and rebounded by the Lions, Hellenbrook. And that's going to be a foul on Mentor.
It'll be Mentor's second. Team's second.
Yeah, Mentor has to be careful with whatever he says, because that's the referee. The referee that just rung him up there is the same referee he got into a heated bout with before both teams went to the locker room. Neville measuring here, takes a couple steps outside. Now Mentor slides back into the picture, but now Lesh with the ball, bounce pass inside to Noah, and over to Griffin Neville, who shoots for three. Lions finally get on the board here in the second half, now 51-43.
And they're staying hot from beyond the arc. That makes them go 9 for 20, near 50% is stellar.
Great defense by the Lions there. Unfortunately, just didn't work out this time. As the Mountaineers go in and up for two, 51-45. Neville crosses half court. Getting low here, trying to find a way to break through, trying to find a shooting alley. Over to Lesh. Caleb, right around the free throw line, now takes a step back outside the arc. It's going to look to Neville once more. With 9 seconds on the shot clock, Lions trying to manufacture one here. Fisher Darden muscling his way through the paint, goes for the fadeaway shot, and loops it in. 53-45. Minter now slowing up to a snail's pace, facing off against Lesh. Ball gets loose, and it is going to be a Berea ball. Noah Hutchinson getting ready to come on the court along with Exley.
Hutchinson, a freshman. Not too many underclassmen see a lot of minutes underneath head coach Greg Neely, but like we said before, a lot of players are going to have to step up in roles that they may not be used to with the injury that took out Ryan Jolly.
Over to Riley, who goes for a high looping three, and recovered by Berea, who's able to draw a foul. That's going to be on Hutchinson, who's brand new in the game. Demetrius Phillips is, it's going to be Jaden Gist. Now, hang on. Just was walking towards the line. I think it is going to be Phillips as he's tying a shoe. Here he comes.
And that was Darden and Dean who stepped out for the Lions, making way for Hutchinson and Exley.
First shot. Bounces out the front lip of the rim. No good.
Phillips has an interesting approach to the line. It almost looked like he spun the ball sideways a little bit.
Now for shot number 2. No good. Neville gets the ball from Joe. 16-22, 26 on the shot clock.
Just looks like there's some issues down at the communications desk. Not on the same page with the officials.
So the shot clock was the issue, as 4 seconds will be deducted from it. Neville crosses the crest, facing off against Hudson. Griffin trying to pour his way into the paint, went for Hutchinson. Hutchinson was not ready for a pass. It goes right through his arms.
Yeah, just unlucky. He looked like he was either getting out of the way of that one, thinking someone else was behind him, or just not ready for it at all. And the Lions will need to get back on the same page. A lot of players that maybe haven't played together as much as typical, but that's what you get in these type of games.
Yeah, this 5 certainly not the usual for Coach Neely, as that one's off the side of the rim by Mentor, but recovered by Gist. Now O'Reilly through the paint is going to put up a floater that can't find its way home. Joe comes loose with a ball, hugs it, and that's going to be Berea's. How can you call that? Joe had both arms wrapped around the ball, and that is an abysmal call.
Wrapped around with authority. And some of the officials are starting to get booed, and respectfully,
no, you have to make that call. That's a horrible call,
especially in a game of this. In a game like this, a playoff game.
This is a playoff game.
You have to be better. You have to be better. See both officials now, or all 3 officials now having a conversation.
You can have your chuckles, you can have your laughs all you want to, but you cannot, in fair conscience, call that what you just did. Both teams get a strategy meeting here. Hellenbrook was immediately incensed after that.
Yeah, he had that one. He had it with authority, but now, the Lions still have a good lead. It's important that they don't let things like that, especially when the crowd get into it, incense them even further. You can be upset about the calls that the officials are making, but you cannot let it affect your play.
Exactly right, Chloe.
We'll see what adjustments are made. It's no substitutes for the Lions. Yeah, no subs for the Lions. We'll see what call was made, and they're going to stick with the original call they made. Whether it was correct or not, I think it's one of those moments where the official has to assert their authority.
So Mentor's set to inbound it here for Berea. Hellenbrook guarding as best he can. Long flip over to Hudson, now just going up against Exley. Hudson thought 3, now goes to the free throw line, takes it back outside, goes for a long 2, unable to get it through. Rebounded this time, no ball at all by Neville. Neville wants 3, off the back iron, long bounce into the air. It's going to be recovered by Phillips. Now Mentor gets the pass. Mentor driving quickly, bounce pass over to Riley. That ball swatted, and a travel call anyway. It doesn't even matter. Hellenbrook put some extra sauce on that one, but Riley already called for the travel, and Exley set to take it out.
One thing to note there, like we've been saying, is Mentor is a little bit on thin ice. He had to be held away by Gist from saying anything too rash to the officials.
Hudson comes out of this game, and now is Marquise Mackey. Neville across the timeline, and pass over to Joe. Joe getting a more active role around the arc, and so he handed off to Griffin. Neville over to Lesh. Lesh all the way over to Joe. Joe was thinking 3, now drives in the paint, and is able to get a call and an and 1.
Does get the call. It looks like an official was close to calling a charge, but no charge called there, as Fisher Darden's going to enter the game for Griffin Neville.
55-45, a 10-point lead has opened up, and Joe looking to make it 3. He was thinking 3 that whole play the whole time, just maybe a little less conventional.
So we're starting to see Hellenbrook step up just a little bit more, as 2 points can make it a little bit more here.
It's very interesting what his role's become in this game because he was passing a lot around the paint. You saw him driving to the paint where usually he's camped out under the basket, and he's been going for threes. Jaden Gist. Bounce pass over to Mentor, who looks for three, and he banks it home. Fisher. Long pass over to Exley. Exley, another no-look bounce pass back to Darden. Exley's open once more, thinking three, off the rim and unable to fall in. Lesh comes down with it, thumbs go up. And it's going to be a Piedmont ball.
Rightly Piedmont ball there. Lesh had that ball all the way covered, all the way to the ground.
Lesh looking for somebody. Got to get rid of it quick. Hutchinson in the paint. Tries to bounce pass it over to Fisher, and that's going to be a Berea ball. Fisher did get the last touch on that one, trying to corral it in. But unfortunately, just a little unlucky there.
Yeah, the ball not quite going into the path of Fisher Darden. As we'll see Joe Hellenbrook step out, and as well as Caleb Lesh, it'll be Reardon stepping in and Devin Dean back on the court.
Mentor slow moving across the court, sets a play with Gist, and now Mentor takes the ball away, Gist takes the ball away to be a little bit more independent. Gist getting blocked by Exley now. Reardon also into the fray. Long pass over to Gist at the free throw line, pushes his way into the paint, and is able to draw a foul for an and one attempt. Hutchinson had the hands up. A little questionable there, but Gist will take it. Second foul for Hutchinson as the Lions collect their fourth one. And a 5-point lead now.
A couple players to check out that may be nearing some foul trouble for the Lions. Someone that you absolutely can't afford to leave the game is Noah Reardon with three. On the other side for Berea, it's Jaden Gist, who's had a very good game so far also with 3 fouls.
Pass back and forth between Darden and Reardon. That's going to happen once more, but it's a little too high as Mentor steals it away. Noah tries to leap up, but he has to be careful. He's in foul trouble. And there's going to be a timeout called by Coach Neely. I like this timeout.
I agree with you. It's a very necessary timeout. Lions starting to lose their head a little bit more, so Berea starting to get some steam behind the vehicle. Lions just need to recuperate a little bit and just say, all right, we still have full control of this game. They've had the lead since almost the very beginning, only one lead change, and it was just after 20 seconds. So Lions lead by 3. Need to make sure their three-point shooters are staying hot like they once were. Still shooting 42.9% from beyond the arc. It's incredible.
Absolutely, Chloe. And I can't imagine the discussion goes further beyond with Coach Neely. Is like, look, you guys have this. This is your game to have. This is your game to lose as well. Just tighten up the screws a little bit here. Let's get back to shooting. Let's get back to stealing the ball away. Let's not play into what they're trying to do, because Berea's employing a good press against the Lions, but you cannot let that press get you flustered. Saw Noah Reardon try to have the very long pass all the way over to Fisher. Did not work out in favor, and that happened multiple times in the last couple of possessions.
Yeah, just need to improve the movement offensively. They're trying to rely too much on those long passes. Not only does that take time off the clock, but, I mean, those balls are just far easier to get tipped away for fast break points like we just saw. Lions Berea with a 7-0 lead in the last minute, 18 seconds. That's a lot of points in very little time. And that's what led us to this point where your Lions only lead by 3.
Neville back in the game finds Exley. Bounce pass over to Griffin. 4 Lions about to cross half court. Devin Dean, the lone one in the paint. Neville sizing up, goes to Reardon. Reardon trying to find a way to cut through. Two-man press on him. Reardon got to get rid of this ball as he's near the baseline. Goes to Neville. Neville's thinking three. Neville unable to put it through. Two Lions collide in the air trying to get the rebound. Now Berea on a fast break, and they're unable to put it up either. Snatched out of the sky by Darden. Over to Noah, who's on a fast break now. Griffin Neville tries to go up and avoids the tip for two. Mentor crosses half court, still trying to keep the momentum that Berea once had. Now slows up in the paint, passes back outside. Number 12, Mackey. Good job by Devin Dean to mess that one up a little bit, and a foul is going to get called here. It's going to be on Devin Dean.
Will be Dean's second, team's fourth, which is what really matters here. We'll see Exley step out. Exley steps out for Hellenbrook. It's a little nerve-wracking now. A couple more until you're in the bonus.
Lions two away from that. Berea just at 2 fouls for this half. 12:50 left, 57-52. Minter. Bounce pass over to Phillips, now back to Minter. Minter's thinking three. Minter finds three.
And you don't want Minter to get hot. Now suddenly has 14 points, is close to taking over Bryce Riley. He's a first team all-conference player for a reason, because now the Lions are only ahead by 2.
Yep, starting to wake up he is, as Fisher, a lot of coverage on him. He'll throw it over to Dean. That's slapped out of Dean's hands. I believe that's going to be a foul on Minter. It will be. It's Minter's third foul, so now he travels a little bit into foul trouble. Not completely, though.
And we'll see Minter step out. It'll be Montgomery to step in. Another substitute as well, Mackey stepping out.
It's Tyler Moss on the court for Berea. Neville finds Noah, who looks for three but goes off the side of the backboard. Good job by Joe to rebound that off the bounce. Devin able to handle the funky pass, and he goes up for two.
And the Lions defensively have to take advantage of the fact that Trey Minter is no longer on the court. He was on quite the run. Suddenly, like I said, out of nowhere getting 17 points.
Ball stolen away. He's on the opposite end of the line. No one called it. Now stealing it is Montgomery. Riley near the baseline, tries to fly up for two, and he's through for two.
Lions doing a good job not letting the crowd and the calls affect them. Whether the calls are good or not, you simply cannot control them.
No.
All you can do, especially in a playoff game with this much magnitude, is control the controllable.
Griffin with it. Neville shoots for three. It's off the inside part of the rim. Leaping up and recovering it for the rebound is Jayden Gist. He'll hand it off to Moss. Moss, no-look pass over to Riley. Montgomery shooting for three, and Montgomery rings one home. Now it is 60-59 as Berea has stolen the lead away.
Lions once led by as many as 10 points. Very different ball game now.
Reardon's thinking three. Reardon unable to get it as it banks off the rim, but it's recovered by Neville. Now Fisher's thinking three, and Fisher unable to do it as it goes off the glass. Tyler Moss collecting it, now slows it down. The Mountaineers now with a 1-point lead.
Mountaineers have the Lions right where they want them.
Montgomery in the paint, bounces over to Riley. Riley a moonshot trying to find it through, but it's ricocheted off the iron and collected by the Lions. Reardon passes over to Fisher. Fisher loses it, and Tyler Moss steals it away. Now the lone defender is Griffin Neville. Neville tries to go up, but Phillips is stronger. In for two. Got to call a timeout here, and Coach Neely is standing in the middle of the court trying to signal a timeout. Referee just now spies it as it's 62-59. Berea an out of nowhere run, and Griffin Neville having to be collected from the other side of the court. Good spot by the referee before Neville said anything he can't come back from.
And when Berea strike, they strike fast. Another 7-0 run for Berea in under 2 minutes. Suddenly the Lions, they had a great lead, but it goes like a magician, poof, it's gone. We see the Lions having a discussion now, or also saw Ryan Jolly hop his way over there, desperate to be a part of the conversation and propel his team to what would be an absolutely historic victory tonight.
Lions, Piedmont as a whole, university, every team, I feel like you need this win. The men's basketball team has had such a historic season, and to but win one here in Cave Arena to continue a great run, you need this victory. These are the type of wins that pull an entire campus together.
And it's almost like the entirety of Piedmont's campus is here, a small Division III with just around 1,400 students here and only around 700 that are residential in the Demorest campus. Hearing some Luke Bryan here, but another reign of silence enters the court.
Reardon gets it, now crosses half court, trying to find Lesh. He will. Lesh, a lot of coverage on him, trying to find somebody open. Got to get rid of this ball. Caleb hands it off to Griffin. Neville over to Dean. Dean in the paint, and it's stolen away by Berea. Hudson on the fast break, hands it off to Riley, who goes off the glass, unable to put it through. Neville wraps that ball around, and it will be a Piedmont ball.
Yeah, Lions just really unable to figure out where the defenders are for Berea. It's almost like they're swarming them at all times. That giveaway, that turnover there was just from a Berea player swiping in out of nowhere and knocking the Piedmont player off his footing.
Would love to see the Lions shoot more from three or just a long two, because right now Berea is really crowding the paint.
They've been so successful from around and beyond the arc.
Devin Dean able to deliver it to the basket. Now a 1-point lead for Berea, 62-61 with 9 minutes and 22 seconds left. Tyler Moss, chest pass over to Hudson. Hudson, snap pass over to Bryan in the right corner. Riley in the corner. Long one to Montgomery, another long pass to Phillips. Phillips struggling in the paint, and Hellenbrook sits him down.
And it'll be a foul also called on Tyler Moss, a double whammy. But what a block from Joe Hellenbrook. Has really had to play a large defensive role this game, and what a presence he's been defensively. 3 blocks. That will be his 4th.
Neville gets ready to inbound here. Referee trying to talk to one of the assistant coaches for Berea, saying, okay, let's bring it down a little bit. A little too much. Reardon on the right side passes to Lesh. Lesh over to Joe. Joe finds Dean. 3-1, pushing his way into the paint. Over to Lesh in the corner. He's all alone, and he sinks a 3.
Gets the celebration with Bailey Wiseman while he's at it.
And that is going to give the Lions the lead once more, 64-62. Reardon able to tip that pass. Montgomery trying to find Minter. He's going to find Minter. Over to Montgomery. Minter takes a shot here. Off the rim. Devin Dean able to leap down and collect it. And Berea not happy there wasn't a foul call. Now Dean slows it up. Hands it off to Noah. Noah all the way over to Neville. Noah. Pass over to Joe. Joe, scoop pass inside to Devin Dean, who's all alone.
It's become the Devin Dean show inside Cave Arena. Lions needed someone to step up and dig them out of a hole. And that shovel is named Devin Dean.
You're exactly right, Chloe. I take back what I said about shooting from beyond 3. Devin Dean has been the answer right there, and Piedmont wins another.
Charge called by Berea on Griffin Neville, and it will be the under 8 media timeout. Berea starting to sweat a little bit, and the Lions picking up momentum when they truly needed it.
And if you're the Lions, you have to find a way to bottle this energy up, to keep it in your core, because this timeout cannot still you. It cannot stop whatever you are doing. You need to come out of this timeout just as you did in the first half, and within the opening minutes, come out firing again. Bomb after bomb after bomb. Devin Dean scoop after Devin Dean.
Would love to see the Lions come out, like you said, with bomb after bomb. Want to see intensity and speed match Berea. Say you got speed, because Berea, they've got a very fast offense. Say we've got a fast offense as well. When they control the tempo, that's when they find their most success. Lions also one foul away from landing themselves in the bonus offensively. So maybe drawing a couple fouls can really help pull you away from what's currently a very tight contest.
Good catch, Chloe. Berea at 6 fouls and Lions at 5.
Still losing the rebounding battle. Berea total rebounds with 35, 14 offensive rebounds. Meanwhile, the Lions 29 rebounds, only 6 offensively. Getting these rebounds offensively and getting these second chance points, as well as earning yourself some fouls, will really push you away from the pack and get you into a semifinal match against the winner of Belhaven versus Covenant.
Fisher Darden leads all scorers with 20 points. Neville set to take it out. Chest pass over to Lesh. Coach Neely just instructed Caleb to move to the other side of the court and receive that.
I'd like to update everyone on the match that matters for the Lions, Belhaven versus Covenant. It is Covenant, the number 7 seed, beating Belhaven 45-34. So if your Lions do in fact win this game, knock on wood, it looks like Covenant will be the one they face.
And Devin Dean is skyrocketing himself up the charts. Just got 10 points with his run he went earlier, and he's up to 12 now. A lot of pressure on Phillips and Minter. Lions crowding up that paint. That one tipped out of the air and taken away by the Lions. Dean able to get it. A lot of pressure on him, but he gets it over to Lesh. Lesh finds Reardon. Reardon was gonna think 3. He's still thinking 3, and he's got 3. And Berea's gonna call a timeout here. The Lions are feeling it. Noah Reardon's feeling it. I'm feeling it.
We're all feeling it. Cave Arena is turning back into the Cave Crazies. What a stretch for the Lions. Wonderful stuff in the last 3 minutes. A 9-0 run. Stellar from the Lions. You see them at their bench right now. It takes a moment for Coach Greg Neely to even talk to them because they're so hyped up. That is what you need right now. Feed off the crowd and feed off of each other. Tell each other when you're doing a good job and hold each other accountable when you're not. I think they've done a great job of that, and that's just team atmosphere. This Lions team has great work together, and that's what propels them to go on a Cinderella story run here.
71-62, and want to shout out the Lions bench real quick. Not the people coming off the bench, but the bench itself. Ryan Jolly is still there. He's still providing leadership. Bailey Wiseman, he hasn't been able to play in a couple weeks. He had an unfortunate injury. He's not even dressed tonight. He's waving a rally towel around. He's being that spark plug when the Lions come in for a timeout. He's keeping them up.
Bench, typically in basketball, for both sides, has been such an important factor for both sides, but right now the Lions bench absolutely taking over, and we're seeing a smart play here from Minter. Just under 7 minutes left to play, and they need a lot of time on their side.
Phillips tries to pass inside, but it's stolen away by Hellenbrook. You can't jump over a skyscraper, and you can't jump over Joe. Fisher crossing him up in the paint, looking for 2. Unable to put it through, but it's rebounded by Hellenbrook. Hellenbrook getting a lot of coverage on him, trying to duck the head and muscle through. Another rebound. Joe's up, trying to get 1, but it's just going to be him taking it to the line.
No complaints there. Great job to win the battle, and that puts the Lions inside the bonus. This can take a game from having a comfortable lead to really stretching it out in this final 6 minutes and 17 seconds.
Absolutely. Devin Dean says, my break's done, let me back in, as he gets back up off the bench. Joe lands one through.
Will be a substitute. Will be Phillips stepping out for Berea as Hellenbrook goes up for his second shot.
Still a 10-point lead as it's recovered by Montgomery. Mentor quickly gets down there but finds the Lions have already set up the defensive routes. Just passes over to Montgomery, over to Mentor. Mentor trying to force his way through the baseline, but he can't. That's tipped and stolen away by the Lions. Caleb Lesh leading the charge now. He's going to slow it up, trying to find somebody as he's got two coverage on him. Tried to pass it to Reardon. Mentor lost it. Mentor to Riley and Riley to Hudson as Reardon collides with the hardwood and immediately begins writhing in pain. Looks like he hit the elbow.
That's
a funny bone maybe because he's back up and moving.
Let's say Reardon, not the type of player to go down and out on a injury like that. He's one of the guys to say, I'm not injured, coach.
Yeah.
Just got a little bit of a bruise.
Huge round of applause for Noah. That adrenaline starting to surge through the veins. Still nursing that arm, it looks a little bit, and so keep it to his side. It looks like he did just come down really hard on that elbow, so I bet it's just kind of numb right now.
Noah Reardon giving his absolute heart and soul on the court right now. 28 minutes played, second most on the team underneath Joe Hellenbrook.
Lesh drives to the paint where Reardon, shooting elbow, looks good!
What injury? What elbow?
Mentor crosses timeline. Noah's hyping himself up, clapping in front of himself. Mentor tries to snap pass over to Jess. Jess tries Mentor once more. Cave getting real loud. Mentor tries to deliver it to the basket, but he cannot. Up with a rebound is Fisher, who goes to Noah. Noah on a fast break, thinking three again, off the back iron, and recovered by Riley.
Reardon just a little bit too big for his boots there. And Trey Mentor says that's how you do it.
Noah gets a second chance here. Reardon now slowing it up with 4 minutes 35. It's a 75-67 lead for the Lions. Dean finds his way on the other side of the arc, goes to Fisher. Darden bounce passing himself between the legs. He's going to find Devin again. With 3 seconds on the shot clock. Oh, what pressure! What pressure for Fisher Darden.
An absolute roar from the Cave Arena. They are feeling it. The Lions take an 11-point lead over the Mountaineers.
Mentor trying his best to slow it down, rally his troops. Hudson launches a three, but it doesn't land through. Fisher Darden's going to catch a foul.
And that sends him straight to the line.
And Riley might catch a tech here. He's definitely going to, as they're having to be separated. Now Noah Reardon gets hit. Another hit on Noah. Noah's having to be separated from the Berea bench. There's got to be two techs on that one.
And Joe Hellenbrook very smartly just grabbing the jersey of Noah Reardon and yanking him back. Cannot afford another technical. I'm sure they're going to have to go to replay for this one.
Absolutely. It was Riley who initially talked to Fisher. Fisher came down with it. The foul was called on Riley, and Riley kept mouthing off to Fisher, and Fisher continually started to back away. He was mouthing off himself, but he was backing away from the situation.
And we're seeing more from that Piedmont bench. One moment trying to assess who got the technicals. And it looks like they're going to go to the replay.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a tech's been issued yet, but a foul is definitely on Riley. It's his second one. It's his team's 8th.
But like I was saying, the Lions bench, like we've been saying, have been so instrumental in this excellent lead. Went up to Noah Reardon, who right now has to be their leader, says, hey, we need you right now. Don't get caught up in a bunch of mess, because we know that Berea are just trying to get into the head of the Lions, somehow make them slip up with under 4 minutes to play.
I don't see how you don't deliver a tech to the bench of Berea. They've already been warned in the form of mentor mouthing off, because Noah Reardon, he was getting contact on himself. Multiple instances of contact on Reardon. So I think the referees right now are just trying to decipher who they're going to hit with the foul.
So far, Noah Reardon with 19 points. Fisher Darden with 23 is 2 rebounds away from a double-double.
And
officials still assessing who will receive technicals. It's certainly to be at least 1 or 2. Wouldn't be surprised, like you said, if it's to the entire Berea bench.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely at least 1. I don't know if it's 2, but it has to be 1. After the way Riley continued to charge or walk towards Fisher.
Looks like we'll see a final discussion here from the officials. What a game we have on our hands.
Oh, yeah. Lions have gone on an explosive run. Berea's not happy about it. They can't find answers.
We've seen 2 absolute games for the books. Unfortunately, one of them didn't go the way of the Lions, as the women's basketball team finishes their season tonight against Belhaven. But Lions look very much so in the driver's seat to earn their first home playoff win since 2008. Yes, we have knocked on wood.
Just under 4 minutes left on the clock as the referees are in their final discussion. They're still really heated in the middle of this, trying to find what exactly the answer is going to be.
Officials taking their time, making sure they're going to get this one right. I mean, it's an important game, and these are some important calls. A few players already on 1 tech. Can't afford to get that daunting second.
It's Gist who was on the first technical foul. It was Reardon and Gist who were in that situation. That was within 5-10 minutes of the ball game. Long decision, as you said, Chloe. This could be very crucial to both sides.
And in the event where a couple Piedmont players do receive techs, hopefully not Noah Reardon, as he's already received one, but in the event that he may, because he did have some words. So it looks like we're receiving a decision here.
Noah Reardon getting called out by the referee. Reardon trying to walk his way to the bench, receive his own explanation. Communications bench is getting an explanation right now.
And soon we will all receive the communication, and of course we'll let you all know as soon as we find out.
It's going to be offsetting technical fouls on Darden and Riley, but I don't agree with that in the slightest. Darden did not instigate that interaction at all.
Unfortunately, Darden did have some words of his own. That's just something in the game that, of course, you get fired up. You got a big lead and you feel like you can talk some trash, but unfortunately, that trash has cost him a technical. Most importantly for the Lions, Noah Reardon has not been assessed a second technical. That would be absolutely a gut-wrenching blow. Fisher Darden does receive his first. It's Darden and Reardon, the top highest scorers for the Lions, both on tech, so needs to make sure they stay composed for this next 3 minutes and 52 seconds.
First shot for Darden lands, 79-67.
And I'd expect to see some Berea players having some words, maybe putting a few extra shoves, maybe to try and get these Piedmont players off their game, because it's only a ticking time bomb until we see another scuff like we saw earlier.
80-67 as everyone in Cave Arena rises to a rousing defense chant. 3:40 left as Minter's left alone. He pushes his way to the paint, now back outside the arc. He takes a long heave pass over to Riley. Riley's all alone. He goes for a three and rinses it. Fisher just hands it off quietly to Noah. Darden over to Dean. Dean, one-handed, did not control that well, but he's able to get it back. Darden spin move over to Neville and loses the ball.
Dean just a little bit too lackadaisical. Could cost his team here.
Minter collides with the ground, tried to leap up for that one. Slow to get up here.
And that officially puts Berea offensively in the bonus with the 7th foul.
Minter taking a long walk to the line. That foul on Griffin Neville is his first. Of course, like Chloe said, it's the team's 7th. Now a 10-point lead. Everybody getting loud. But that one sinks through. Looks like Piedmont Soccer over there when waving their fingers around, trying to cast a hex on Minter. And worked on that one. Off the back iron, recovered by Hellenbrook. Fisher over to Neville. Neville facing off with Gist. Griffin with 19 seconds on the shot clock. Puts Gist on skates momentarily. Griffin over to Fisher. Fisher cutting his way through from the free throw line. Fade away off the flip of the rim. Unable to be recovered by Hellenbrook. Long pass to Riley. Riley over to Hudson. They go off the glass, but it is tipped in for 2.
Joe Hellenbrook called on the foul. That'll be his first, team's 8th. And it's for just a quick shove in the back. We see some women's softball players on the other side having some words with the official. Everyone's got some words with the officials.
I think it's well warranted at this point.
I'm not going to say much, but just know when both teams don't like the officials, it means something.
Yeah. Off the front of the rim, no good. 7-point lead for the Lions as the Berea Mountaineers are crashing back a little bit. Joe inside to Dean. With 2 minutes, 30 seconds left, Dean presses his way through the paint, trying to find somebody, hands it off to Fisher. Neville thought 3. Now he's thinking 3 again, and he misses it. Air ball. Joe Hellenbrook able to bounce pass, and Hellenbrook upset with himself. He slams the hardwood. Riley, long pass over to Montgomery. Montgomery goes to Minter. Minter thinks 3. He can't get it. That's off the rim. And the Lions will take this one as it rolls out.
Yeah, smart play by Fisher Darden. Don't try and save that one. You know it's going out and you know it'll be your ball. Just let it go. That's smart play, especially in a high pressure scenario like this, for you to be able to keep your composure and keep your IQ. It's great work by Fisher Darden, who's only a sophomore playing like a senior in this game here.
Fisher over to Lesh, new entrant into the ballgame. Neville takes a seat on the bench. Lesh in the paint is going to get called for an offensive charge. Yeah,
tried to go all the way for a highlight reel play, but just doesn't get that one, as Minter saying that the floor needs some scrubbing.
Minute 55 left. Here comes the mop.
And that is, fun fact, that is athletic trainer Gabby Lauder, a former Piedmont student, won 2 rings with women's soccer.
Gets the round of applause from the cave.
Everyone loves Gabby Lauder.
Just having a smile about that. Love whenever the mop comes out and everyone gives him a round of applause. But Minter crosses half court as we enter the final 2 minutes of regulation play. Minter over to Hudson. Hudson to Gist. Over to Hudson again from the corner. Minter shoots for 3. Can't get it in as it banks in and out. Riley able to bounce pass inside right to Fisher Darden. Fisher tried to get it loose. Hudson able to get free though. And Hudson able to hand it off to Gist, who dunks it.
Well, good news, we finally saw the dunk. Bad news, it wasn't a Piedmont player.
Fisher able to collect that one. Long pass to Joe Hellenbrook. Riley tried to fly through the air. Lesh is all alone, and Lesh is in for 3.
Such an important three-point shot. The Lions only led by 5, but brings it back to a 3-possession game.
Minter gets it to Riley. Good coverage by the Lions. Tip again. And we'll have a call here. See who it's on. It's going to be on Hellenbrook.
Hellenbrook receives his second, team's 10th. Lions lead by 8 with 1 minute, 2 seconds left to play. Could make this a 2-possession game with a couple shots here.
First one, clang, back iron.
Eric, one stat to note here. Berea are shooting less than 38% from the line. If you want to win games, you simply got to do better than that.
And it has killed them to this point.
We'll see a Berea timeout.
Good pause in action here with just 1 minute and 2 seconds left. The Lions looking to remain in the driver's seat, but they cannot get the foot off the gas, Chloe.
Oh, they have to go harder and harder and harder. Shift into second, third, fourth gear. Do everything you can to make sure, I always say this, slam the door, step on the neck, kill the bug. Whatever term, whatever phrase you want to say, the game has to be over with a firm and convincing Lions victory.
I completely agree, and I hate to break this to folks at home, but with Berea already in the bonus, I think this minute is going to feel like 20.
Sure will, so definitely means that you and I will be having to get some takeout or go to the late night calf tonight. So
at least we're getting hours.
Yeah.
The hours help.
At least we've had 2 very entertaining games today.
As objectively as possible, these have been 2 phenomenal games, albeit with their flaws, but entertaining. Lesh trying to find somebody, and he's going to call a timeout. That was a good timeout by Caleb Lesh.
I always find it interesting when an underclassman calls a timeout, but yes, a necessary timeout called there. And it looks like Coach Greg Neely says, yeah, we needed that there. It's need a better play because, I mean, Berea employing some serious high court press.
That press was very good for the Mountaineers.
A lot to talk about with this game. We're seeing minutes-wise, Joe Hellenbrook, the senior, who was highlighted just a few days ago, is leading the line with 34 points. On the other side is Bryce Riley, who you said was your sleeper for this game, was a second-team all-conference choice player, proving he should be first team. Leads with minutes and points for Berea. Fisher Darden is so close to reaching that double-double stat. 25 points, 9 rebounds, only 1 assist. It's Devin Dean who leads the Lions with assists with 5 and 12 points to his name as well, having a quietly good game.
A lot of the Lions have really put together a serious campaign in this game, and it feels like there was something said at halftime when Jolly went down, or maybe it wasn't said at all. It was a quiet understanding between everybody, and I would love to know who in the locker room really took charge in that situation. Of course, on the court, we've seen Noah Reardon take charge, but sometimes the on-the-court leader is not the same as the off-the-court leader.
Of course, there's different types of captains, different types of leaders. There's the ones that lead by examples, but then there's also the one that is extremely vocal inside and outside the locker room.
And good job there by Joe to stay in. He'll flip it to Fisher, and Fisher able to draw a foul. And the head referee saying to one of the assistant coaches for Berea, you need to sit down.
Yeah, it looks like there was a slight play where it was similar to that foul. Noah Reardon just shoved someone off of him. And we'll see Reardon have a couple words from Coach Neely, probably just getting him to
cool down a little bit.
Just a little bit. Cannot afford to have him gone for the rest of this game.
No, you cannot. Fisher makes him pay. Make him pay twice.
It's just about everyone back on defense. Rightly, good call from Coach Neely. saying, hey, we've got the lead. All we have to do for the next 59.9 seconds, preserve it. You've got the lead by 9. Don't let them get hot on the threes because this can turn deadly fast.
Yep. Montgomery shoots for 3, and he draws a foul. Field goal's good. And that's Noah Reardon's 4th. He's incredibly puzzled.
Noah Reardon's 4th, also in danger.
Now referees will take it to the replay as both teams will return to the bench. So the three-pointer is going to be good, but I think they're looking for the travel call. So at the moment, the three-pointer stands, and there is a foul on Reardon. Yep, and the goal will stay.
So suddenly what was a 9-point game could turn into a 5-point game with the 4-point play.
Like we said, Chloe, you cannot take your foot off the gas. Berea is going to take you down scratching and clawing and screaming.
Certainly what they're doing here, it's the reason why they went to overtime, double overtime last season. And a big miss.
Montgomery shooting for 3 again after he gets the rebound. Lesh able to leap up. Great rebound by Caleb. Fisher pressing his way down the court. And the referee stops the clock. It's going to be on Gist.
Gist, who's officially in some real trouble with 4 to his name. Meanwhile, Reardon, like you said, also with 4. So both players who have been instrumental for their team need to be a little bit careful. Gist, with 9 rebounds, leads his side.
And Gist is going to come out of the game here. Mentor back onto the court. Mentor remains dangerous. You got to watch out for him from behind the arc. A little bit too much English on that one. Montgomery over to Riley. Mentor pressing his way through. Back outside to Montgomery. Shoots for 3 off the back iron. Joe tried to leap up and recover it, but in for 2 is number 12, Marquise Mackey. Timeout for Berea. A 5-point lead for Piedmont.
This is not comfortable at all. You've got 35 seconds left to play. 10 fouls each. This has been such a physical game. We had a lot of offensive flair in the very beginning, but it turned into just an absolute slugfest, both literally and a little bit physically.
I think slugfest is the correct term for this because it hasn't been pretty for either side. It has not. And this isn't exactly their game either. Like, both of these teams are offensively minded, albeit Piedmont much better on the stat sheet when it comes to offense, but both of these teams they're 4 and 5 in the conference in defense. They're not built around that. So when you have to make these defensive plays, that's how you wind up with 10 fouls on the board, 20 between both sides.
And one thing to update for both sets of fans, the other game, Belhaven versus Covenant. Covenant currently leading by 3 halfway into the second half.
Joe gets a foul. What an incredible job by Hellenbrook recently to be able to get into the tight spaces, to get the pass, to get the inbound before time expires, and then immediately snap it back into someone who's open. Just getting the ball from getting outside or taking it away from the clock is one thing, but finding someone who's open is completely another.
Has stepped up huge in this second half. We came into the second half saying we wanted more from Joe Hellenbrook. 6 points to his name, maybe not that much when it comes to scoring, but 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 blocks has been incredible for the Lions. He leads them with 34 minutes played.
And he lands one there, 88-81 with under 30 left. Mentor not slowing down at all. He knows the urgency as taking a shot at a 3 as Hudson. It goes off the front lip of the rim. Dean can't control it. It is going to be a Berea ball.
Lions lead by 7 with just under 20 seconds left. It's a little bit, a good cushion. It's seeing a lot of commotion on the court from the Lions. Need to get it together.
Montgomery shoots for 3, and it banks in. So now 88-84. the slimmest of errors of margins for the Lions, as a foul is going to get drawn against Hudson, or rather to Hudson against Fisher.
And it's a necessary foul. I mean, Fisher's so good with the ball in his hands, was going to just hold on to that one all day long. So it's a necessary foul. This chance for the Lions to go up 6 here.
First shot lands in. And like you pointed out earlier, Chloe, this game to this point has been decided by free throws, especially down the stretch. And Berea unable to handle it. As the goodbye chants are rolling off the rim, recovered by Hudson, who takes a shot with 3 seconds left, and it will topple its way in. 0.2 seconds left. The Lions getting ready to lock up their first home playoff victory. It's final. Piedmont is moving on.
And at the looks of things, it looks like it's a tie ball game against Covenant and Berea. Hard to tell who they'll face next, but they are moving on. Next Friday, this upcoming Friday, they will travel to Maryville and play either Belhaven or Covenant. And we're hearing no hands ringing and everyone's dancing. What a game from the Lions. What a character-building game from the Lions. And I mean, the story writes itself. It had everything you needed. Your star player goes down. Your second best player steps up. The bench is hyped for everyone. Incredible stuff from Greg Neely's guys.
You get sophomores to step up in this situation where you have your senior leadership. Reardon took full control. Hellenbrook came through in a huge part. As you see Noah Reardon give the shoulder shake to Greg Neely in celebration. You had Fisher Darden have, I would say, a coming out party here.
I mean, a career game.
A career game. This is the stuff that defines a legacy out of college. You remember when Fisher Darden led us to victory in the first round of the playoffs, where the Piedmont Lions eventually went on to win their first ring?
Knock on wood.
The Lions will continue to fight another day as they topple the Berea Mountaineers.
Incredible game, and it's been an incredible night. Want to say once again, thank you to all of the Piedmont women's basketball players, especially the seniors who have had an incredible 4 years. We wish them luck for what happens for them post-graduation. As for the men, they still got one more game. That was the seniors' final game here in Cave Arena, so we say sayonara. Thank you for all the work you've done inside of the Cave. Now go do some work in Maryville, Tennessee. But that's going to wrap it up from us two. We'll go over the final stats one more time for you. For the Lions, it was Fisher Darden, so close to that triple-double, 1 rebound away, but 30 points. I think he'll take that.
Can we give him a triple-double in our hearts?
Of course we can. We'll give him 100 points. He's better than Wilt Chamberlain.
We have Fisher's game on camera.
Hey, I better see him in the locker room with 1,000 posted up with a piece of paper. Good games from the Lions. Had 1, 2, 3, 4 players in double digits. I also have to tip your hat to Berea, who also had lots of great players. Bryce Riley and Jarrell Montgomery each with 22 points. Trey Minter with 21. Good stuff from both teams, but at the end of the day, it was the Lions from the line who absolutely brought it. They brought it.
Absolutely. From the opening minute, the Lions had their foot on the gas full throttle. There were only certain sections of lulls, as the game of basketball is a game of runs, and they were able to fully put that to the test as the offensive machine will roll on.
Of course, we see right now Fisher Darden receiving his interview with Danielle Percival. You can see that and stay up to date with Piedmont Lions content at PiedmontLions.com or Piedmont Lions on Instagram or Twitter/X. And as for myself, Chloe Spradlin, Eric Edmondson, Adam Cook on camera, and all of Danielle Percival's staff here in Piedmont Athletic Communications, we want to say thank you very much for a wonderful basketball season. Make sure you stay up to date with Piedmont basketball and how they do this Friday and, knock on wood, Saturday in the conference tournament. We'll see you all next time. Stay tuned because it's time officially for spring sports. Once again, my name is Chloe Spradlin. With me, Eric Edmondson. To all our Lions fans, we say good night and go Lions.